What's up, Blizzard Nation? Welcome back to Strictly Blizzness, episode 71. I got it right.
You did.
With correction before we went on air.
It's all good. As long as when it's recorded, it's correct.
Right. We've never gotten anything wrong on air. But on with the
never,
show.
Ever. There's never been any take-backs.
Fact check in years.
Speaking of fact checks, how...
Where are you going with this?
I have no idea. I just wanted to say, speaking
I don't know where
of...
this transition
you
is.
You didn't give me a good lead-in, so I had to say, speaking
okay.
of... No, I do have a fact check. I just can't really share it on the air.
Oh.
All right, then. Keep your secrets.
I'll just leave it at that. Let's just say that when presenting rosters have to be filled out correctly. So get your facts right on what you put on your roster.
Got it.
Yeah.
There's a story there.
There is a story there that I really can't share. But I guess I just did.
Are there other stories you can share? Isn't there big things going on this week in the IFL, right? I mean, more playoff games.
How about we talk about what happened last weekend?
Yeah.
Because I think last weekend was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Were you surprised by the outcome?
I had one. We did an internal bracket. I'm not allowed to play in the bracket where I can win tickets to the championship game because I'm already going, and I can't win. Nora complains about that all the time. I've shared that with you. Not being able to win Blizzard things. I had Tucson and Naz wrong, and I'm a believer that Naz is good. I just thought, and I do think Dixie's a big moment coach, and Naz is just really good. They're going to give Arizona a fit this weekend, I think. So, yeah.
Yeah. So
that was the only one I was surprised with.
So mine all came true.
Okay.
Which was pretty cool.
Awesome.
And I agree with you. I think Naz is going to give Arizona a run for their money. I was surprised that two things. I was surprised at at Duke City's game with Arizona, though. I really thought there'd be more of a fight there. Because I think they're also a big game, come through in the end kind of team. By 1, by 2.
Kevin punched him in the mouth.
Yeah.
And that DB, I do not know his name, but he tied the single game record for interceptions for the Rattlers as well.
It was crazy. It was
four
crazy.
interceptions in a game.
Yeah. So. And, if you watch that game, I mean, Kevin had 2 challenges to overturn touchdowns, and he used them. And, guys, this goes back to, I say guys because we have an audience.
And gals.
This goes back to that whole our refs have to get better at calling things because Kevin shouldn't have had
to challenge.
Correct.
Okay.
He needed that for later in the game. Obviously, he didn't have to use it, but had it come down to him having to use another challenge and not have it available and lose the game,
right?
This conversation would have been totally different come Monday.
Do you think? I mean, and maybe it's on the agenda already, but you think we'll get to a point where we review scoring plays like the NFL?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it's going to have to come down to that simply because stuff like that can't happen. And if somebody's not paying attention, you can't have a game be dependent on that. Now, when you review things like that, much like in the NFL, it adds time to the game.
Yep.
So the other thing is you have to have good camera angles, which not all of our arenas have, because there's only so much equipment and staffing that some of the teams have. So we have to talk about it. I don't know if we'll go there, but it would be pretty cool if we could.
Yeah.
Again, it legitimizes the league.
Absolutely.
Just all over again. So.
Yeah, and then you have your challenges for non-scoring plays.
Correct. For what it's meant to be.
Yep.
Yeah. So, so that game I just thought was going to be closer.
Sure.
How about Quad Cities?
Yeah. I actually had that one, but
I did too, but not like that.
Right.
I mean,
yep.
Massachusetts has been on a roller coaster ride this season, as you know. I mean, we beat them, but then they beat us.
Yep.
So, their team has had injuries and things that they've suffered through, but they're out of the first round and they're out.
Yep.
I'd love to see Quad Cities in the championship game, but I don't know that they can beat Frisco.
I don't think so.
Billy's just he's got a great way of playing, sometimes a little dirty. Just saying. Some people call that cheating. I just call it dirt.
Wow.
I call it dirty. I call it dirty. But aggression, that's what football is. So
I probably would have Naz have more of a fighting chance against Arizona, too, if that game was in northern Arizona, because that crowd was great. However, in Rattlerville, they're going to have their hands full. So
yeah, the crowd's going to play a role.
And they got them once
doubt.
this year, but I don't know where they beat them. I was trying to look back because I was looking at the record between.
I thought they beat them in Arizona, but
Okay.
I could be wrong.
It might have been at home.
I could be wrong. Because I think we made comment about it on this show that it was at home, but I'm sure our Arizona fan can clarify that for us.
Yeah,
we really should look at stats before we start the show.
I mean, there are people from Arizona playing our bracket because it just makes sense because I think their team probably is going to be in it. So that'll be cool.
That would be
if
really cool.
you get to hang out with someone that watched Strictly Blizzness, that'll be neat.
We might have a little segment then.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
That'd be very cool. I'm excited about going to the championship game, regardless of who ends up in it. Obviously, someone from our division will be there.
Yeah, there will be a team from our division there.
It'd be really cool. Yeah, it would be really cool if it was Quad Cities because that's closer to home than Frisco.
Yeah, I'm rooting for them. But Frisco's an animal this year too.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. So we'll see. Now Frisco has lost to Arizona already.
It wasn't a blowout, though.
No.
I did look back at that just because they did play. That was their out-of-conference game.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. But we'll see. You know, they have to stay healthy. They have to stay smart as far as players go. We're on that. We have in our league a rule that if you have two unsportsmanlike, you're not playing that next game.
Right.
So, and there's some of these teams on the hairy edge, or I should say 3 strikes, you're out. So they got to be smart with how they play because to me, if I was a coach, I would want them in the championship game.
Right.
Now, granted, the rest of the team has to get you to that game, but if there's a suspension, I would want it during the playoffs, not. But obviously, the best way to do that is to not
lose your cool.
Yeah, be smart. You know, be sportsmanlike. We have had though with our league, we've had calls like that called, and then really not an unsportsmanlike. I mean, we've had it happen to the Blizzard as well. We've had the wrong guy called for something as well.
Got it.
But it is again,
it
goes back to that whole reffing thing. We have to work on that in the off season.
Yeah, should be fun. So I'm excited to check out the building and be part of the league meetings for a little bit and chill with Drew.
Yeah, you're going to be hanging with the Drew Meister.
When I say big bark,
I say woof. Ooh, that had a little ring. Yeah. So exciting times for the IFL.
Yeah.
This weekend should be great games. I'm going to be hunkering down, getting ready for a graduation party, but I am going to have it on in the background.
Next week, right?
Yeah. Next week's not this coming Saturday.
Correct.
But I had one of our fans who's coming to the party say, "Oh, and good luck with next weekend. I'll see you there." And I went, "Next weekend? I'm not ready for next weekend."
And then you do that panic and check the invitation
like,
and be like, "Did I put the wrong date on?"
Oh my God, did I do that? Yeah. No, I did not. It is not this coming weekend.
Yep.
So
I know.
Yeah.
What else you got? There's some league stuff, right? I mean, there's.
Oh, I don't. There is.
This is a loaded question.
It is.
Because now I know more than I knew last Strictly Blizzness because Todd and I spent some time on the phone this past week.
I almost said it, and I don't think I can.
Okay,
because,
all right. Got it.
Because I think today is the day.
Yep.
And I don't know what's going to happen first.
I figured we would maybe not be able to talk about it on Strictly Blizzness.
There's really cool stuff happening today.
Yeah, so by the time this airs, be sure you check out the IFL page. So
yeah, there should be an announcement today. But I got to say, So sometimes, I think it's going to happen before Blizzness airs.
Yeah.
But sometimes those things get canceled, and I've gotten caught in the.
Sure.
I say something's going to happen, and then it doesn't happen.
He was surprised that I didn't know because of how close I am to you. He's like, "Don't you know?" I'm like, "No, she actually didn't tell me this time." He's like, "Well, I'll just tell you." I'm like, "Don't tell anybody." That's what he told me. So.
Todd, shame on you, because now I should announce it and say, "Well, you told Ryan, and he brought it up."
Like a trap, like a vault, as Hitch would say.
Yeah, we got some exciting stuff happening. Yeah, good stuff.
It is. It's cool. So.
It's cool. It's cool because until we know, and again, this does not happen until we have dates. This does not happen until we know exactly who's coming back, who's not coming back. We don't know what conference they're going to be in.
Right.
Because they're positioned in a place where, ooh, I'm giving a lot away.
Well, I mean, like,
positioned
I'm
in
getting
a place
poked
where,
right now, too, because there's stuff out on the IFL forums about things going on this week. And do you know? I'm like, no. But it is cool 8 years in to get to have dialogue with Todd. And he sent me a real cool document of his 4 quarters that he's trying to help new owners and existing owners. And I added like one thing because I learned a lot from him when he owned a team. I said, this is really good. You could, besides
so
some
he
of the
shared it with you?
He asked for input on if there's anything I do in his timeline that he's missing.
So timeline he shared.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get your dashboard artwork here, work on renewals, have 100 sponsor calls. It was really well done, but that makes sense because when he was owning a team, I did talk to him a lot, and I just said, hey, here's one extra thing I do, but it's a really good document. So
yeah, I asked him, I said, so because he's sharing basically what he's putting together is a franchise book for new owners. Because we've had owners that have, and I've said this before, as an owner, you have to know what you're getting into. Speaking from experience, had no idea what I was getting into.
Same. Not as an owner either.
Neither did you.
I'm like, I really like these people. I think I'd like to work for them.
Yeah.
And now I'm here.
But quite honestly, we've helped Todd write that book because we've been here the longest out of all the teams that have been here. Not the longest playing football, but the longest from an IFL perspective. And we've watched owners come and go because they didn't have the forethought to get the sponsors when they should have, to understand how ticketing works, to understand what you don't do with comps.
Correct.
We made the comps mistake when we first started. So all of those things, having them in a book that people can read. Now, whether or not they're going to use it, all you can do is
it's been cool, like, because the interns, too, they're asking, wouldn't you rather be doing Blizzard stuff and making Blizzard money and all that stuff? And yes. But at the same time, there's no IFL, there's no Blizzard, so I have skin in the game to help other teams, and I'm excited to tell them what we do about theme nights and group sales and how you plan those and how you sell the sponsors, to your point, if they listen, and if they ask the right questions, because you can't buy attendance.
No.
You can't. So
well, you can try. You can throw money their way.
You just need to, I hope that the right questions are asked, and I'm excited to just share what we've done, because it works.
Well, you can share what we've done, and I've said this to you before, you have to have what we do, and then you have to have someone that does what you do. They don't necessarily have that. They can come close. There's some great teams out there that know how to put things together. So you just have to have the right people in place for specific positions. And if they're not doing relationship selling, it's not going to work. Because everything that you do, and you're meeting with a big potential today, if you don't have a win for them when you're presenting, it doesn't mean much, and they're going to be a one and done type proposition. So I think that's very important to have that in the mix. So I'm excited to see. I asked Todd, I said, do you need anybody to proof that document before you share it with everybody? And he said, I don't know. I'll keep you posted. It's not done yet. I'm like, okay. It's probably done. He's got it done. I
think it's good for.
He's being protective of something that's cool.
It is really cool, and it's exciting to share that with the young people we're teaching too, right? Because, like, how does it feel, not just from if there's no IFL, there's no Blizzard, but like if you're a player and you come play in front of 6,000 like Frisco did at the Laser Show game, and then we go to Frisco and there's like 1,500, and that's no disrespect to Germains or Frisco's, they do a good job, but like how does that feel for a player, right? We want that feeling across the IFL of full stadiums and the ability to attract national sponsors, but more, I mean, for the guys to play. I remember when Cedar Rapids was dwindling and there might have been 120 people in the building. That feels not good for anyone. Right. So, yeah. Right.
It doesn't look like a sport either on TV.
Yeah.
On YouTube, it doesn't look like a sport. You know, and I'll go back to, you know, the Germains have gotten lambasted on the forum for not having the attendance that they did last year. And, you know, the team did this, the team did that. And when I say the team, I don't mean their team as Frisco.
Yep.
I mean who used to do our business office. Right. And, again, there is such a thing as smoke and mirrors, people. There is.
Yep.
And when you give away tickets to have people in the stands, your stands can look full.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean you're making any money. You're giving away free tickets.
Yep.
And it looks good, but it's not real. Right. And we want everyone to have the real fans that are going to keep coming back. We want them to buy season tickets with the thought of being in the stands, not just watching it on YouTube. We want it to stick year over year. Not
you had said a word that Blizzard Nation might not be familiar with. So comp ticket is a free ticket. And it's not don't. We've learned how and when to use them, right? It's really understanding when to leverage them and not stand out on Oneida Street and throw 3,000 tickets on the road and hope people pick them up, right? Like, it's different than...
That's littering.
Littering and...
There's a difference.
There's a fine.
That's a crime. That's not called good business. There's a way to do it, whether that's working with schools or trying to attract a partner, right? And I've learned when and not, and I've made some bad decisions early on too, on ones that I can't reverse because I did it so many times. But I think it's important on how, not how to comp and when.
Yeah. So there's a difference between giving a family of four tickets and telling the family of four, your kids get in free, but the parents have to pay.
Yep.
That's kind of what we're talking about. There's a difference between how you put that out there, how you use comp tickets, because as any event, and I'm sorry, event venues, any event has comp tickets.
Yep.
Now, there are artists that go in and say,
no comps.
Not doing any comps. Sell out. Yeah. We want all the money, so there will be no comps. But for things like what we do, as well as other sports venues, there are comp tickets that are available to attract sponsors, to attract key people, whatever that case might be for that actual team.
Right.
Comps are available.
Yep. So there's a lot of understanding our math with the Resch Center and stuff, which is weird because I suck at math. But as I understood that more, as my role shifted, we'll call it 5 years ago post George, and I started to view the settlement, I really understood how that worked with the Resch Center too. So,
yeah, that report shows the comps, and then it shows how that comes into play with the monies that you brought in.
Yep.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to everybody's settlement is a little bit different.
Yep.
There are some people that pay 10 times what we do for a rental of
their building.
Yeah. And that's not because, like, I'll go to Spokane, for instance. Spokane, there was just a huge thing that was out on the forum and social media about Spokane. They were auctioning
all
off
their stuff. Yep.
Yeah, and some which... To me, I wouldn't have auctioned it off that way.
Yeah.
They would have gotten more money if they had gone to the forum and done it.
Right. Yeah.
Or even NFL, because there was some of his stuff in there from Sam's stuff from being in the Pro Bowl. So I don't know that I like the way they did it. But just as a for instance, during that clip, they shared how much he had to pay in rent.
Yeah.
And what they didn't share was they were looking for money up front for the potential of him selling out.
Sure.
And then he would get back whatever he actually did sell.
Yeah.
So although it looked like it looked like hundreds of thousands of dollars that he was going to have to pay in.
Yeah.
They did that because he had, escaped some bills in the past,
Sure.
and they wanted to make sure they got their money.
That makes sense.
And other arenas do that.
Yep.
Other arenas have you pay up front, and then, you get your money back in your settlement after the game.
Right.
So it's not uncommon to do that. We've just have a different relationship with PMI. And every arena is different. Every arena is going to be different.
Yeah.
So
That's some good inside information.
yeah. Am I going to get in trouble?
I don't think any of that was
Okay.
out of bounds. I mean, scratch that from the record.
Ryan said it was okay.
Well, pretty sure that's your veto power, not mine.
No, I rely on Ryan quite a bit.
Great.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think we said it 93 times on here what we think of PMI, so that's not any secret information that we have a really good deal and some outstanding people, more importantly.
Yeah, I like the crew that we work with.
Yep.
We've asked some things that have pushed the limit.
Yep.
They've come back with things that we've had to accept, and that's okay.
Right.
That's what a relationship is about, right?
Yes.
That's another relationship selling opportunity.
Right. Yep.
And we've done some things to help them come back. I mean, during COVID, we were the mainstay in trying to get things to start going again, and now they're back on track. And we're back to it's hard to find dates.
Yes.
That's that.
I mean, we're in pretty good shape. I feel for Todd. He's going to have to take what you send him, but we're okay, right? We are definitely looking like we'll run 3 back-to-back again. I love my life. But it's going to be a blast.
That's a crazy 3 weeks. We're just going to make sure there's well-themed things on those back-to-backs.
It's going to be cool.
Because people like to see what that crazy...
I'm looking forward to that. That's
People have.
a lot of fun right now, both to sell it and to think of it. So,
we had a birthday party for Bryce and Haley. Boom. Woohoo. Shout out, grandkids.
Nice.
They have a birthday party every year because their birthdays are so close together. And I was talking to their grandma, who was so excited about the Blizzard season. She's come to the games in the past, but she said she really liked this past season. And, Larry's off in the background like, football. And she went, those themes were so cool. And I went, yes. And she said, sometimes I forgot to watch the game because I was playing Singo so all good stuff. That's what we want. We want everybody in the family to get something out of
it. And I think as Todd asked me some of those questions and stuff, I think some of his answers might have been surprising. Like when I get my dates from the rest center, our dates, sorry. Like, I think I just took that piece from you over the years without asking too. I'm like, you know what? I know you have 93,000 things to do. I'm going to go talk to Christy. I'll send you the holds. But it's cool. As soon as we get those, I go look at movie releases, I map spring breaks, I map holidays, and we just see where we fall, right? But the movie and pop culture piece, I don't think a lot of teams look at, right? And I mean, that's not rocket science. I learned that from the
one
T-Rats.
that did.
So, because you're getting free advertising if a movie's going on when you're running that game.
Correct.
So,
correct. Yep. The only team that did that is the one that went out, which was Louisville.
Yep.
He had the right mix.
He was running a Comic-Con event at his building.
Yes. He was the only one that really, and from an operations standpoint, he was golden.
Yep.
He knew what to do to bring people in. He didn't have the ownership financial backing that he thought he did. Otherwise, Louisville would have been a contender in bringing people in because it was still COVID at the time, so it was tough for him to get people in. But he had the right theme base going. That all would have been pretty cool in that arena. So
there's some shenanigans coming.
Our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
It's going to be fun.
I'm
really
excited.
will be.
I'm very, very excited about it.
It will be. And it's cool when you just hit your stride and things just fall into place. We have a really good front office team now that I think affords you and I to dream bigger and do some of that stuff because I don't go back and be like, well, now I got to go sell 40,000 tickets. There's 2 other people that are going to do that. And I can stay in the what can we get our corporate partners plugged in on and how do we do more things like the laser show. So
absolutely.
And Colton Dixon and.
Right.
So, yep.
Right. Cool. All right. So the next time that we do this show, it might look a little bit different.
Yes.
And it's also August the next time we do the show.
Yeah. To be continued.
Dun, dun, dun. We don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
So enjoy this one. Watch it on repeat.
Oh, please. All right.
We have content from Vegas, though, right?
Yes.
Like, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So are we scheduled for next week? Are we?
I mean, we are, but we got to figure out what that looks like.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
There might be some spot. Yeah. Right.
We're getting a cue like.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
Since it's August, there's a couple of things I'd like to address.
Sure.
That, so with August comes high school football getting
Sure.
back into the swing, and college football kicking off, and the NFL kicking
Yeah.
off. So, we have always said, or I have always said, what's nice about the IFL is it begins after the NFL. It ends before all of this other football
Yep.
starts. And it's not that games will be played, but practices have definitely kicked
Sure.
off.
Yep.
And it won't be too long, and there will be college games being played right after we're done with our season. So that's that whole football year round.
Yep.
Pick an indoor team, pick the right indoor teams, the right league to follow. There's a lot of indoor leagues out there. There's some that are just, I can't say the word, but it's a blank show.
It's a blank show.
Yeah, it's a blank show.
Oh, wow.
When you see what they do, and then I was trying to
I hit the
prolong.
mic.
I was trying to prolong so you could hit the mic in an episode
One more
you
time.
you hadn't yet. You just hadn't yet.
That went well for me.
But anyway, so we're at that hairy edge of, last year we were playing when college was playing, and it'll be nice to be done in August. I'd love for it to be done in July. That's always been the goal, is to give it a good month before other football starts. Sure. And it gives our front office and all front offices a little bit of time to regroup.
Yeah.
Because a 16-week season should happen in 16 to 18 weeks.
Right.
Not 24.
Right.
So.
But I mean, like, we don't just go away either. Like,
no.
I encourage them to go do family stuff and stuff because we know what in season looks like.
Correct.
60-hour weeks and 5 a.m. arena time for me, 7 a.m. for everybody else. Just saying, show up when I do. Anyways. But, like, that's part of the gig, and I think it's also really cool because I get a lot of, well, can I go do this? I'm like, absolutely, because I know what in season looks like, right? That's what you do when you sign up for this, not we take summer off and Kathy pays us to do nothing. That's not it. That is not it, contrary to popular belief.
That is not it. That is not
it.
it.
We need to recharge so we can find 40 more schools and do all the stuff that's going to make next season special. So
Absolutely. Cool. All right.
Big shout out to Cornerstone one more time. I had a great meeting with.
Are they doing anything in
They'll
this
be
off
back.
season? Are they picking who they think is in the?
No,
they really should do something.
Well, I pitched
we're
an
out.
idea that I put on paper for somebody else, and he really loved it. So that didn't go insanely well for me, unless the other person says no. But they'll be back. Their son is definitely in love with the program too. So.
Yeah, he's actually. Well, I'm going to share it. So. He is going to try and do equipment for the Packers.
Yeah.
And play a role in that. So I said, wait a minute.
You know who else he wants to do equipment for? Us.
I know. I said that to him.
That's funny. That was like I
said to him, what?
I came up when I was meeting with his dad. So
I'm like,
yep.
You want me to be a reference for the Packers? What about our team? And he went, well, actually, I was going to talk to you about that. I'm like, okay. And so talk. And he said, well, like, would you be interested? And I said, absolutely. Why are we talking about ifs?
Right.
Yes, it's a when.
Especially as he is hanging in town to hang out with school friends as they go off, and he's going to start working for his dad. He could learn from Dex and crew in the off season to be ready for this season. So it's cool.
Right.
So
he'll be around.
It was literally a conversation that came up last week. So that you probably already aware of.
I was. But yeah, it just cracked me up.
Yeah.
I'm like, Packers? Why would you want to work with the Packers?
Big bark. Nice.
Of course you want to work with the Packers. And then he can tell Joey, Well, I'm working with the Packers now.
I mean, Joey technically ran the elevator for the Packers.
Well, Joey's looking to get up and press. He's looking to get up and press row. Sam wants to be on the field.
That's fair.
So, the only way Joey's getting on the field is if he's doing color commenting down there. So, yeah.
Indeed.
All right, then.
Great episode.
Yeah. Should
we hit him with it?
I think it makes sense to hit him with it.
That was very proper. Let's hit him with it.
Go Blizz.
Don't forget to like, follow,
subscribe,
share,
and ring that notification bell to get all of our content in your inbox.